Slap yourself across the face, man.
So, yeah.
Perfect.
I'm awake.
All right. This is BRG Podcast, episode 42 for October 24, 2016. This wonderful episode is brought to you by our excellent patrons over at patreon.com. We certainly do encourage you to head over there and check us out. We do appreciate the love in every respect, including the monetary love. So, thank you. Hey guys, welcome back. We are having yet another wondrous episode of the BRG Podcast with myself, Warp Jester, my wonderful co-host, Kirok.
Hello, everyone.
Go figure, we're back again, eh?
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
I'm rubbing off on you. Oh, wait, that sounded wrong. That sounded very wrong. Yeah,
how you doing tonight, Kirok?
I'm awesome.
I don't know if you're dying. Anyways, guys, so tonight's gonna be a fun night because we're gonna have a bit of news and some good topics. Lots of news to cover, but we had to push a lot of it off because the big main topic tonight is going to be the death of the NX rumors. The Nintendo NX rumors, you're not going to hear anymore. It's done. It's over with. No more NX.
Nope.
Nimblembo
Nimblembo.
Switch. So we're going to be talking all about the Switch tonight. We're going to give you all the details we know, which is not a whole lot. Go figure about
That's
Nintendo.
true. Yeah.
And we'll kind of do a little bit of speculation on what's going to be coming up with that. But first, the news. Okay. So we're going to dive right into the topic here. So we have to kind of get through this first. I know it's sometimes exciting, sometimes not so exciting. But in this particular case, the first news bite is going to be the video game voice actors to go on strike this Friday. I honestly almost wavered a little bit bringing this one up when I first saw the news about it, just because, okay, so just so you guys know, basically what it boils down to is there is a voice actor's
It's not a guild, is it?
Not guild. It's,
I know.
Union.
Union?
Okay. Voice actors union. And like all unions, they're meant to try to protect and preserve the rights of the voice actors. And basically what's boiled down to is they've decided that the current state of affairs is not fair. They're basically saying that the guidelines that are drawn up were drawn up 20 years ago. And this is, if you think about 20 years ago, that yes, it's a long time. But you have to also look at the aspect of it's a long time, and you think about where video games were back then. Voice acting was not a major part of games.
Can I say it?
Go for it.
It's me, Mario. That's about the extent of the voice acting 20 years ago.
Pretty much. So they're basically saying that things have changed a lot. The voice acting is a lot more important, a lot more pivotal, which is true in a lot of ways. There's a lot. If you think about a lot of the RPG based storyline games like Fallout, for example, where there's a lot of voice dialogue. It's a driving element of a lot of games, from Metal Gear Solid to the many other popular games right now. So while I can understand that, where I fall short on this is I don't know how much they get paid. Right. I don't know what it's worth in that sense. I hate to say it, and I don't want to go off topic here, but I don't have a lot of love for a lot of unions. Unions have a place, and they were important in a time, but there's been more often than not times coming up where I hear everybody and their mother going on strike all the time.
Yeah.
And they're already getting paid, which is above a normal living wage or whatever the case may be. So I know I'm probably going to get hate mail for this, and I apologize. Like I said, there's definitely a place for unions sometimes, but I've seen a lot of cases where unions kind of abuse the system.
I agree. Actually, I agree wholeheartedly in that. I see that
So
here with schools and stuff. Anyways,
yeah,
um,
exactly.
but when you consider, take this into account, when you consider games like The Last of Us or Uncharted, that voice acting is basically like acting. In fact, they usually get the characters who do the voice acting actually acting and do mocap at the same time, or motion capture,
Yes, and
right? So
that is something else to it too. You're not just a voice actor anymore.
yeah, exactly. So I do kind of think that they're on the right in this sense, right? So
Yeah, maybe
depending on the
so.
game.
Anyways,
But
the uh strike started Friday. I'm not sure what the deals are going to be because we're recording as of Friday, so we don't know what's going to happen in the
right.
future here. But there's a list of companies that do hire unionized voice actors, from Activision to Disney character voices for gaming, Somnia Games, etc. We've got the
Yeah, yeah.
list on our show notes. So just be aware that, this could be a big poof and nothing, or it could be a big deal.
Right. Well, one of the good pieces of news is that I don't see Rockstar on that list. Do you see Rockstar on that list?
I don't.
And the reason that's good news is because Rockstar has officially announced Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2. Anyway, sorry, I'm excited because I played Red Dead. I played Red Dead, the first one, which wasn't called Red Dead. I can't remember now what it was called. But then I played Red Dead Redemption, the second in the series, which is just known as Red Dead Redemption.
The first game. So to be clear,
The first, yeah,
the
they
first one
released
you've
one.
played, the new one, which is Redemption 2, is a prequel
Yeah, it's
of the
this.
saga, right?
It's I don't recall if it's the prequel because I played the very first and I didn't play it through to the finish. The Red Dead Redemption I played through to the finish and it was fantastic, but it came chronologically after the first one, and now
Ah, okay.
this is technically the third, which they think is going to be a prequel prior to
And
Red Dead
a
Redemption.
lot of people have
Oh,
actually. There's been speculation on and off whenever, not necessarily directly about this game, but just whenever the topic of other games being redone or getting an additional, release to the legacy or whatever. The Red Dead name kept coming up,
yeah.
and I have to think that Rockstar may have actually kind of clued into that in terms of how they went about kind of teasing this coming out.
Oh, the teasing was actually amazing. What they did is they basically sent out an image. I can't remember. I believe it was on Twitter, uh, of just a red background with their logo, the Rockstar logo on it, and that's it. No text along with it, just the image, and it got everybody on the internet speculating. Then I believe the day after they released a new image where it was looked like a Western posse walking over the horizon while the sun was setting.
Pretty much gives it away at that point.
And that at that point, everyone's like, "Yeah, it's Red Dead for sure." So, but they don't say anything more. They don't say anything more after that. And then I believe the following day they actually released the. It's about a minute 10-second trailer for the game.
Which I'm not
So,
gonna play, guys. I'm sorry. We just so
oh
you
yeah,
know, I've stopped trying to play a lot of video lately, just because regardless of whether the video has been sanctioned or not, we just always seem to reliably get flagged, and
yeah,
I'm just sick and tired of our damn channel getting flagged constantly when we have totally legitimate ability to show it.
to
I just
show
don't
it.
want to
Yeah.
fight with it. So you can blame YouTube's automated system for that.
So keep in mind, these are the same guys that did Grand Theft Auto 5, which was amazing, coming from the tail end of the PS3 area into the PS4 and Xbox One era.
Mm-hmm.
And they've slated this game for fall release of 2017. Consoles are confirmed, so PS4 and Xbox One. PCs, however, no mention at all. So everyone part of the master race, like yourself, Warp, up in arms all about it. Hey, what's going on? What about us?
The master race.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep. It's like
you
the internet's
know,
gonna explode.
I appreciate that. And unfortunately, there's going to be more and more stuff that's coming out that would be very, very entertaining to play. And unfortunately, it's not going to be on console. Things like a good old classic of keep talking and nobody
Nobody
explodes.
explode. That one's amazing. Okay, I got actually before I get into it. Have you played it? Have you? Oops.
I have not actually played this game. No,
Okay.
I
Okay.
have a
So
feeling this is going to be like massively hilarious or horribly, horribly frustrating and break friendships up?
So I've played it. I've played it on Steam using a PC laptop at a party, and it is awesome. This particular article speaks about how it is probably one of the best PSVR party games, which makes more sense because you can actually sit around, watch this person play, see the image on the screen, and so on. However, that kind of defeats the purpose. So I'll give the premise. Basically, you are an expert bomb diffuser. You can go and defuse bombs, but you have no knowledge of how the bombs are constructed or what steps you need to take to disarm this bomb. Meanwhile, your cohorts, your friends that are in the room, say there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other people, they have access to a manual that basically has all of the instructions on how to defuse different sections of the bomb. So when you're faced with a bomb, it's not just one thing you defuse and that's it. It's like stages. So there's like 3 or 4 or something.
Of them, yeah.
Exactly. And
I'm sorry, but it's funny too because the pictures we show here, you see there's a face that's got like some wires on it, some buttons, a big abort button, the timer, but it's also things on the side and things on the back. It could be like there could be a tumbler, there could be key things, like your friends will ask you, well, wait, on the side does it have this number or does it have these 3 blumps or whatever?
What makes this game work is the fact that the person with the bomb in front of them doesn't see the manual that they're going through, and the people with the manual don't see the bomb. So you're forcing communication, and hilarity ensues.
I being this is going to be like PSVR, I have to wonder. In the original release of this game, it was, obviously you're playing on your computer or whatever. So you can use your controller to spin the object around so you can see the back, see the side, and so on. Being this is gonna be VR, are you gonna have to step around this thing to see the back of it and the side of it and use controllers to flip it over?
I don't know. I mean, having the move controllers, I think they could probably grab and twist it in space. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know.
But could you imagine adding one little extra element to this, which is some of these bombs, the more advanced ones, will have like a mercury switch, so you can't move it too much. What's on the bottom? I don't know. We'll slide it off the edge of the table a little bit and look under it.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me that wouldn't be epic.
But that would be amazing. But this game is like loads of fun, especially in a group setting or a party setting. Loads and loads of fun. And I played it in non-VR. I can't imagine how amazing it would be in VR. So
I think that'd be great. I just the idea of having to actually have some VR element built into it, like say a mercury switch, and you're trying not to blow people up so you don't get sued. That's important things. Hey, speaking of not getting sued, a little bit of news follow up. Valve fires back at the Washington State Gambling Commission. This is a little bit of a follow up from we talked about before.
Yes.
The good old Washington State Gambling Commission being slower than frickin' molasses and being completely clueless as to what the flip has already gone on and happened. So Valve basically fired back and has sent a very, very strongly worded riposte to the Washington State Gambling Commission, forcefully refuting allegations that the company was somehow facilitated skin gambling or was somehow basically in cahoots with it. The following quote from the response: "As we've explained on multiple occasions, Valve is not engaged in gambling or the promotion of gambling. We do not facilitate gambling," states today's response. "The operation of Steam and CSGO is lawful under Washington law. We were surprised and disappointed that the commission chose to publicly accuse Valve of illegal activities and threaten our employees with criminal charges." Basically, put it simply, Valve was put on there, hey, you know what? Screw you, all right? and honestly, I give Valve a big applaud for that because really, Washington State Gambling Commission, you had one goddamn job. And you can't even keep on top of that? I mean, Jesus, mother. Anyways, so there's a quick follow-up. I find that funny as all hell. The letter does go on to the company has no business relationship with these operators and so on. If you want to get the full story, of course, check our show notes. You can check out the article there and have at it. I'm going to switch gears here, guys. As always, to try to get a little otherworldly news aside from just gaming. In the tech realm, I found this absolutely massively interesting. This is a real-time image warping project.
I loved it.
This absolutely blows my mind. This is actually a technology that they're using this projector and sensor that can see infrared ink. So we don't see it, but it can. So it understands objects, orientation. You see them flipping a piece of paper upside down, the checkerboard follows it, as well as the warping of the page when they start swinging it around. To give you a better idea, this is one of the videos I actually will show a little bit of, because I don't think I'll get tagged for this.
No.
You can see a person moving his shirt around, stretching it out, jumping up and down, blowing a fan across it. And the image keeps up with it. So it actually looks like the image is supposed to be on that shirt. It actually is. So
when I first read it, and I was like, big deal. I can project anything on something. What the heck is this? And then I noticed it was following the contours of the shirt.
Exactly.
I was like, what? It's really impressive.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. Again, it's impressive when you look at the person moving around with the shirt and how when the shirt wrinkles, it follows along. So, it's a neat little tech tidbit. I definitely encourage you to check it out because it looks like some really neat tech.
It's pretty sweet.
I love it.
It's sweet, like candy.
Oh, God. Horrible. That was a horrible segue.
Okay, well, I can't speak for it because I never played this game, but apparently Candy Crush is becoming a TV game show for some reason. So apparently Lionsgate is actually in the works of putting together a Candy Crush TV game show. Insane. Now,
why?
Correct me. I don't know. I wouldn't understand how they. Okay, hold on. I've never played it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Candy Crush start on like Facebook or something like that?
Yeah, it was like one of those ones. Yeah.
Yes, and then eventually made to like the mobile, so it ended up on mobile devices like phones and stuff.
It's a stupid game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, go ahead.
No, I never really understood if there's any real potential for actual strategy of the game. You just click on everything on your screen and eventually it makes things go away.
Yeah, so it's a weird one. There was the producer behind Wipeout and Fear Factor is actually responsible for putting this together with King
Fear
Chief.
Factor's stupid. Wipeout was funny.
Fear Factor wasn't that the one with Joe Rogan?
It was the one where people ate like slugs and did stupid crap.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool actually.
We're gonna agree to disagree on this. Hey, look, what's on the calendar?
Tell me what's on the calendar.
So, as always, there's like a little what's on the calendar here. Starting off with our history, and history is the world's first video game, and it's not Pong exactly. This is actually October 18th, 1958, when William William Robert show off a tennis simulator game they called Tennis for Two. And it was done on an oscilloscope. So this is actually the first instance of a video game. So 1958 gives you a little idea of kind of the dawn of things. So there you go.
You sure that's not the NX? Because it looks like no.
The NX, there is no NX.
So okay, all right. October 1985, Nintendo releases the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, in New York and other North American markets. Basically, it was an immediate hit. The console went nationwide in February of '86 and was released with a ton of games like 10-Yard Fight, Baseball, Clue Land, Donkey Kong, Junior Math. Duck Hunt's the one I remember. I went over to a friend's house.
Excite Bike. Excite Bike was awesome.
Excite Bike, I do remember that one too as well.
And of course,
there's a whole bunch. Ice Climber, Kung Fu, Martial Ride, Pinball.
Basically, all the notable ones you know about, they're there.
Super Mario Brothers. There you go. Yeah, like
check out the whole 1985. History of them. And October 23rd, 2001, Apple Computer releases this funny little object called the iPod. This is old school right here. Think about it for a minute, guys. 2001. This is 15 years ago. And this thing was a little brick, thick little brick of an object that actually had a hard drive inside of it and actual clicky buttons, not touch anything, actual clicky buttons, and I want to say a FireWire port. Very old school. Anyways, so another little piece of the puzzle in terms of technology, even though it's not directly related to gaming, it's still a noble advancement in technology and history. Birthdays.
As for birthdays, October 27th will be Zero Plays Games' birthday. Zero's birthday.
Happy birthday,
awesome.
Zero!
Happy birthday, Zero. You can find Zero on the Bottle Rocket Gaming website. You can also find him on YouTube, Twitter, pretty much anywhere, twitch.com. So this is great.
And don't forget that he's one of the founders of Minus the Rumors, our sister podcast.
Sorry, what was the name of the podcast?
Minus the Rumors.
Minus the Rumors?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So
I tell you all about the news, nothing but the news. No rumors.
That's awesome. Yeah. How old is he?
Probably too old.
We don't
Probably
okay,
too old.
Yeah. We didn't say mine when it was a couple weeks ago, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Not quite older than dirt, but whatever. Hey, events, guys. We have a lot of events coming up for BRG. Actually coming up, well, today as of release of this video, for Monday evening, is we're doing Fractured Space, which is effectively a space battleship simulator. So what could not possibly be awesome about that? So definitely encourage you, I guess, check it out.
Maybe taking out a hit on some corporation for real money.
Only if you're really pissed off and have a lot of money. Fair enough. Also, coming up next weekend, we have our Q3 town hall meeting. So this is going to be Ball Rocket. We basically do a quarterly meeting, so obviously every 3 months. We actually hold an open town hall for the Ball Rocket gaming community, where everybody is part of the community or interested in the community can come join us, see what's coming up. We'll talk about events, talk about plans for the group as a whole, and take open forum for people to give feedback, ask questions, etc. Again, we do this quarterly. If you really want to get a feel for who Bottle Rocket is and what's going to be coming up with us, this is actually a great thing to show up for. So you all are welcome to show up if you'd like. Details will be on our website. You can go over there and check things out and find out more. So there are other events out there, guys. However, I'm going to say go check out the show notes and you can find out more. Moving on to releases.
Yeah, releases. So I'll mention a few here. October 25th, we're going to get Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. So that's pretty awesome. I've never played any of the Dragon Ball series. So.
I tried to watch with somebody, and it was moving so fast, I had no idea what the hell was going on.
What was going on? Yeah, I just never looked into it or never really got into it. But the next one that's coming out on the same date, October 25th, is World of Final Fantasy. This is coming out for PS4 and PS Vita. I'm excited about the PS Vita version.
Of course, but
apparently, yeah, apparently there have been a lot of comparison videos, and it's a cross-play game, which means you can actually play your game on the PS4 and then save it, and then play it on the PS Vita and continue, save it, and then go back to the PS4. But I don't believe it's a cross-buy, but don't quote me on that, meaning you have to buy it twice, once for one system, once for the other.
I call shenanigans on that one. That's
I agree. That's kind of low, but
pissy.
Well,
if somebody actually paid for the damn Vita, man, just give them the flipping game they got paid for the other one.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Like
that, one of the news articles last week we didn't get a chance to cover was the comparison between the two, and I swear to God, in all the pictures I saw, the Vita looked better.
Yeah, it was really impressive, actually, what they managed to do. October 28th, Titanfall 2, PS4, PC, and Xbox One. For those of you who love the Titanfall series, apparently this one has a campaign. We'll see. And also Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition coming out for PS4, PC, and Xbox One.
Now, wait, is this something new, or is it just a special edition of one that's out?
I think it is a remastered, if I'm not mistaken, because it is an older gen game. right? It came out when PS3 was around. Was it 2011, something like that? So it's not a new game technically. Uh, that brings me to something to talk about with the
I don't understand
NX.
remastered games. This might be a topic for like, this really
I
should be a
actually
topic for another
it
day.
should. I agree.
We should probably bring Bob back on because Bob has talked at or talked about doing this kind of conversation of what is remastered uh, and so on. Because I don't know, man. I understand remastered movies because hey, I feel like watching a movie. Hey, look, there's a clean up version of it. I don't feel that way about games. And if I've gone through a game and played it and finished it, I don't really feel
You're
the urge
pretty
to go.
much don't play it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I could go back and play it all over again with prettier graphics. Okay. I don't know.
I feel the same way, but I've done it. So there are some instances where I think it has some merit.
So you're a hypocrite.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, so guys, we'll take a quick break here and talk about the wonderful, illustrious Ball Rocket Gaming Group. Again, just as I said a little bit earlier here, we have events coming up for the town hall meeting, as well as an event for Fractured Space. We actually have a lot of other events coming up as well, and more to be planned. We're getting really active again, having a lot of stuff coming up. And again, this is one of the core values of Ball Rocket is collaboration. Getting people together, having fun, and it's not just a place to come together, a gaming community where you come together to play games. It is a lot more than that. It is a place where people can share and create and whatnot. Again, we're kind of a new media environment in that regard. We are always looking for more people. I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. We need more people. We need more people that want to come and just play and be a part of the group. We also need people that are willing to come in and help participate and contribute to the group, whether it's time and effort in doing projects with us, taking up a role, being like a media advisor, or the Twitter person or things like that. So I really, really encourage you head on over and check us out. There's a lot of stuff here to see, a lot of people to interact with. If you've got questions and whatnot, feel free to pop on, poke your head in, say hi, and you'll guarantee to get a lot of people saying hi back. So definitely check us out and we will show you some loves. Some loves, I tell you. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. As promised, we are going to dive into tonight's big topic. And, is it going to be an interesting one? I think. Ooh-wee. So, Nintendo officially announced its next system, which is going to be called the Nintendo Switch. Now, right. We'll give you a quick kind of highlight here about what it is. And then we'll kind of go from there. If you're going to just look at the pictures, it's like, yeah, it's a replacement to the DS or whatever the current mobile device thing is. And I would say yes, sort of. Actually, it's the replacement to the next generation from the Wii U. That's right. And the DS, maybe. I don't know. I'm a little confused. Yeah. This is very.
It kind of takes the place of both.
It kind of does. So, just give you guys a quick high pass. What you see is literally what you get. You'll notice they've got a little tablet, if you will, being pulled out of a dock. They've got a little doggy-faced remote control here. Yeah. And then you see the controllers being slid onto the tablet. So, this is exactly what it is. It is a portable tablet that has a independent controller, which the controllers themselves can be slid onto the edge of it to make a big control surface, as well as a docking station, so you can actually plug it into your TV and play on your TV. So it's the successor to the Wii U, but it's also a mobile device.
Right. And so this begs the question: what's going on with the 3DS? Right.
That's you're absolutely right, and that's one thing I'm very curious about, and we'll get to in terms of that. I love it though because as soon as they announced this, everybody went absolutely ape caca over everything about this. And it literally, within hours, somebody had this artwork of a puppy's face for the controller set, which I find absolutely hilarious and actually kind of cute, to be honest with you. A whole bunch of "shut up and take my money" memes, and so on. So,
I was gonna ask you. What do you think? But then I remembered you're not a console guy, right?
Well, okay, so let's be clear here, guys, and we haven't really had a chance to have an evening to talk about us in the podcast, but I think that's going to happen as part of our next year's kind of 2.0 release of the podcast. We'll talk about more some other time, but yeah, I'm more of a PC centric person. The consoles that I currently actively have in the house for me or the kids to play is Nintendo Wii, not the Wii U, but the Wii. And the PS2.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit outdated in that regard. But I do find this interesting, and it's a little bit less for it's another console being released, but it's what Nintendo is doing. As we know, Nintendo's always been about not trying to chase down and play in the same arena as PlayStation, as Microsoft, but to kind of carve out their own more niche environments. And they've done okay with like the Wii U. Yeah. Or sorry, the Wii. They did so well with the Wii U. This is going to be interesting. And the reason why I say that is because we're talking about the current players being, the PS4 and the Xbox One that just released their 0.5 versions, their midline revs that are pushing limits of VR capacity, of 4K TV output, kind of like big burly machines.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile,
then
this is like a little cutie.
It's like a little cute little tablet. Yeah. What the hell is going on?
So, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say. So let's talk about what we know. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to break it down for you guys and tell you what we know, basically what Nintendo has actually copped to, which I'll tell you right now is a big fat goose egg. Other than the video, which again I'm not gonna play the video because it's Nintendo and they suck big giant monkey nuts, almonds. Anyways, and we'll try to kind of decipher the imagery and what we see. So, again, it's a tablet. It is a mobile. It is a mobile platform. This actually runs in the ARM
chip
platform.
Yeah.
Well, it's ARM platform. So basically, you understand that instead of being the x86 architecture, which is like Intel chips, PCs, Xbox, etc. This is the mobile platform. This is the same architecture that your tablets and your Android devices and whatnot would run on. And specifically, they're actually, more than likely, it's the Tegra processor by NVIDIA. So
it's like when I watched the video, to me, it is a tablet. It's a tablet basically, but it docks into the docking system, then goes to your television.
Yeah, and the nearest thing they have to this, and I'm just gonna say this up front now, is the NVIDIA Shield tablet. And other people were going, the what now? Okay, so just so you know, there is this little mobile tablet gaming thing that NVIDIA put out called the Shield tablet, which is a mobile gaming tablet thing that came with a controller.
Which I considered buying actually at one point.
Which seems pretty interesting. It seems like kind of a neat thing. This is about the closest to what I think the Switch is going to be.
The thing with the NVIDIA tablet is designed it can play onboard games, but it can also stream from your PC if your PC has an NVIDIA card in it and it goes through the whole system. This is basically the tablet itself is where the game is.
Are you sufficiently confused yet, guys?
Yeah, I know. It's but it's awesome because, okay, personally myself, I've been for years looking for some way to have my console experience on the go, right? This is why I have a PS Vita. This is why I have a 3DS, and both those systems are great. They do their job, but I've always many times had a game on my console and I want to play it on the Vita, but I can't, or it's not cost by. And I'm not talking about some rinky-dink indie game. Sorry, indie guys, but I'm talking about something.
Oh,
I'm talking about something
that's
like
care of
like
Kira Craft at Kira Craft on Twitter.
so hold on. Let's take a break. Take a small little moment. PS4. This game's out on PS4. PS Vita. Wouldn't it be awesome if this game I buy it and it plays on both of them? Now I know there are some titles like that, but I'm talking like the big boys, AAA games, that kind of stuff. So this means what we're seeing with the not the NX but the Switch is we're seeing that it's going to be something like that, where whatever game you buy can be played on the go on the tablet, or if you want to play it at home, plug it into the docking system, play it on the TV. Mm-hmm. Same game, no version that's cut down.
Literally the same game. Like you're in the middle of playing on the TV, and you grab it out of the dock and walk away with it.
Yeah, and I love that idea. I love
totally
that idea.
Can't see my kids like doing that on purpose to each other just to piss each other off. Anyways, so to do hardware real quick. Again, we don't know. There's no official.
That's right.
There's no official terminologies or anything stated about it, but the theoreticals. Again, I'm kind of using that NVIDIA Shield as a reference point because it looks kind of similar-esque. So screen-wise, I sure as hell ain't gonna be a 4K system. I don't think. I mean, there's theories about it, but the NVIDIA Shield is about an 8-inch tablet, and it's a 1920 by 20 LCD. The Switch, I keep on saying the NX. The Switch,
I know,
looks to be similar in that respect, but I haven't heard or seen anything about it being able to output 4K if you plug it into the dock. Will it be touchscreen? Likely not. Again, the video Nintendo released
doesn't show
any interaction with the screen whatsoever. Yeah. So usually Nintendo's really good at their releases like this of making a point to show things if it's there. They don't. Yeah. So I have to assume that's probably not going to be. Processor wise, again, everybody's speculating it's going to be the Tegra processor.
It could be.
I mean, it could be. It's 100. I think it's 192 core Kepler GPU, which is with the again the Shield would have. But again, not really entirely sure. Audio capacity. Well, the Shield has forward-facing twin speakers for left and right channel. This doesn't look like it has speakers on the front of it. So I'm not really sure what it's going to have. It does have an audio port. We do see that. It actually has a
3.5 millimeter jack.
Yeah, it's a little jack on there, so you can plug in your headphones. Unless you're an Apple person, which don't have those anymore because, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go there. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's going to have obviously a wireless spec in some respects because the little controllers can be popped off the sides of the tablet and used independently wirelessly for it. But if it's going to stream to your TV, it must be in that dock. So that's
correct. Yeah.
There's a lot.
So can I mention something? When I saw the video, it shows a lot of versatility. So the little controllers, or what are referred to as the Joy-Cons, slide down the sides of the actual tablet and lock into place, and now you can hold it like that and play your game. But you can choose to, and the device has a little kickstand. You can choose to kick the kickstand out, put it up like a little picture frame, slide those controllers off, and then hold them in your hand and play the game. Or if you're playing multiplayer with a buddy, you can actually, one person can use one left controller and the other person can use the right as an actual, almost like the old Nintendo NES controllers. which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and they're using the term for these things, the Joy-Con.
Yes.
I don't know
So
about this terminology here, to be honest with you. But as you can
it's
see, it can be slid off of its little joystick controller
yeah.
thingamabobby, which gives you a little more meat to grab onto. The orientation is going to be familiar for a lot of gamers. You've got one high stick, one low stick, and then you've got split buttons for the kind of old style D-pad, and then the ABXY orientation,
Yeah.
and of course some shoulder bumpers, which as near as I can figure, it's just one bumper per side instead of twins.
Like personally, if I had this, I wouldn't slide it off and play them. Well, play. I would keep it on and just hold it and play like that. I don't know why anybody would take them off unless they're playing with two people or something. But
Well, I mean, there's ability for so that's the other thing about this is there's ability for multiplayer capacity. So
yeah,
this is the other big thing. This is actually something I find very very intriguing. Is what they show in the video is that you actually like a couple different people who both have this tablet gaming system, and they set it up next to each other, and they give one of the two controllers to each person. So you got four people now with their own
yeah.
independent little mini controller, and they're holding on to the little mini controller and playing Mario Kart or Splatoon, which
Yeah.
is kind of a neat idea. Except you look at this picture here of this person holding this little controller sideways, so they can use the little controller, joystick and the AB as a D pad or whatever, and that looks like such an awkward,
It
small, little
does.
dinky ass thing,
Yeah.
and I can't help but think that, especially from my history of seeing people with cell phones, is they hire hand models to portray a certain thing. Like we want our phone not to look too overbearing or big. Back when there's a big thing about, oh my god, you have a 4-inch phone? That thing's huge. So they get a large hand model to make the phone look smaller. I can't help but think that they might be using a smaller hand model just to make this not look quite as bad. I've got giant ape hands, and this right here makes me cringe. I'm gonna have like carpal tunnel and cramping trying to play with this damn thing. So there's issue right off the bat number one that I'm already really concerned about. Now there is an alternative. They do have the quote unquote pro controller,
Yep. Which
which
looks great, actually. Looks not bad. It doesn't look that bad. So
it looks like a freaking Microsoft controller. I mean,
no, actually, you're right. Now that you mention it, oh my god.
see? Thank you. Apparently, the pro's the new norm. I don't know. So you
Holy
do have
smokes.
a larger controller that you can link with this. Now, again, we don't have any details on, well, can you use this and one of the other small controllers, or can you have three people connected at the same time? I have no idea. But the idea of having wireless connectivity between two different devices so you can play like 4-player Mario Kart. Can you do more than two? Can you, these are things that I want to get speculation just yet. I'm jumping the gun here. We are going to talk about our speculations and our worries, concerns, and dreams. But nevertheless, so for hardware wise, that's basically kind of the long and shorts of it. There's the dock the thing slots into. Now, supposedly, for what everybody's saying, the dock doesn't have any additional hardware to boost the system. So there's no secret processors or
Right.
whatnot built into the system. So it whatever it is, it's just literally an interlink, so you can stream to your TV, I guess.
Yeah.
Game game wise, they're obviously not doing spinning disc media here. They're going to be doing cartridges again, small cartridges, more than likely, kind of like the 3DS style. They show a picture of
Yeah.
a very small little,
Yeah. They
almost
show a guy
kind of like
inserting it in the video.
kind of a fat SD card. Kind of looks like,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I'm totally game for.
I'm cool with it too.
I mean, cartridges. The only limitation of cartridges back in the day was the cost effectiveness of them, the space that chips could hold for memory. Discs had a place in the time, but that's long since blown away. Memory cards can blow away discs for storage space nowadays. Hell, you've got,
Yeah.
I think it's Sam's or either
SanDisk.
SanDisk. that's got a 512 gig SD card, and they're working on a terabyte one.
Yeah, I think they're working on a
For
terabyte
crying out
one.
loud, we're talking about an inch by what, inch and a half, maybe.
About the size of a stamp, right?
Yeah, I mean it's just all kinds of nuts though. So that's going to give you a lot more expandability. So since we're talking about games, Kirok,
Yes.
what can
So,
we expect?
well, there is a list of confirmed games. I'm going to read through them here. Legend of Zelda Breath of Wild, which, as I was mentioning earlier to you, I think it's what they announced or showed a while ago on one of E3s. Slated for Wii U, but now you can see it in this video being played on the Nintendo Switch. There is also a video of an untitled Mario game, so that there's definitely going to be Mario on the system, which makes sense. Splatoon Switch, Mario Kart Switch, Just Dance 2017, Holiday 17
yep.
Sonic game, Dragon Quest X, okay, X is 10, Dragon Quest 11,
Dragon Quest XI!
XI, and SteamWorld Heist. So those are confirmed release titles.
They've got Dragon Quest 10 and Dragon Quest 11. So is Dragon Quest 10 something that's already out and they're porting?
I don't know, to be completely honest, but I guess that's what the case may be.
Because they're saying some of them might be possible ports or updates. They showed video of Mario Kart, which looked a lot like graphic level of the Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, but then it showed things like they had 2 item slots instead of 1. Splatoon, Switch, which looks like the same graphic level as the original Splatoon, but with like customized hairstyles which don't exist. So there's speculation they're gonna take some game and kind of port them and update them with some new features and whatnot. So that'd be kind of interesting to see. Now they do have a host of
developers or partners.
Partners on board. A huge list you can see here.
Massive
to highlight
list.
a few: Activision, Bandai, Bethesda, Capcom, Electronic Arts, shocking, Epic Games, Konami, Sega, Square, Take-Two Interactive, and Ubisoft, to name a few.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people coming on board for this. So they've got the partnerships going, which is a good thing. I think that's one of the kind of failing points of the Wii U, is it just seemed like there wasn't out for it.
A lot of the game support wasn't really there.
Yeah, so there is that. As for the aspects, the important aspects here, which are going to be when is it coming out and how much is it? Well, when it's coming out, again, they haven't said anything. Well, officially, for the Switch.
They just said March 2017.
They said the Nintendo NX would be March 2017. So there's the assumption that this still holds true. So
right, okay, I got you.
Spring of next year, they'll be coming out for that, which
isn't that far actually. So
it isn't that awesome. Far, and it's also a little bit odd because they're not. I mean that's 3 months past Christmas.
Yeah.
And well before Christmas, depending on how you look at it. So Nintendo apparently is just not really concerned about hitting a particular target line for
like holiday season.
Yeah, exactly. So that'd be kind of interesting. As for cost, again, nothing officially said. There was a supposed accidental post by Tesco, which was quickly taken down, but they were listing it at £349. That's about $425 US or 560 Canadian pesos, depending on where you're from here. So it gives you kind of ballpark. But there have been other leaks in the past from Reddit during the NX. They're putting it down as low as $299 for a base model. And what that means, again, we're not really sure. What's a base model? Exactly. What options do you have? What stuff comes with it? So
yeah, because right now, looking at it, they show all this versatility in it, but then the question is, what comes with it? When you buy the system, do you get you're gonna get the base the tablet / console that goes in it, the handles, the 2 actual Joy-Con
Or
that
are
come with it,
you?
or are you? No, I think you'll get those because you're gonna have to be able to put them on as a controller when you're hooked up to the TV, right? But then what about the Pro controller? That's probably an accessory you buy separately.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there is that.
yeah,
Now there was a lot of fanfare. When it comes to Nintendo finally saying something, but of course
yeah,
it's kind of like a rubber band. There's yay fanfare, and it snaps back. You get a lot of backlash, and already there's been a lot of backlash. One of which is battery life, whether it's going to be worthwhile. Is it going to be touchscreen, which we talked about? So people are already kind of pissing all over this. Now, the one thing I will say, and this is kind of a testament um, to its popularity, is the YouTube channel litmus test, which is basically, as we've seen in the past, when people don't like or do like games or other things like that, if you go to their YouTube trailers, usually you'll see very quickly how ripe it is or isn't in that sense. And the YouTube channel for Nintendo, the official channel, they released the picture on. I'm actually going to go to right now. Again, I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get yelled at.
do they
But
have a good ratio?
they're at almost 13 million views,
Wow.
and they have a little over 400,000 likes to just under 17,000 dislikes. So 400 to 17. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, all things considered. Even people had issues with this, they haven't managed to dislike bomb this thing yet. So
Yeah, exactly.
yay, I guess. But anyway, so there's some questions that to be had. So let's. Are there any other facts or pseudo facts of, Kirok, that you want to bring up?
I mean, you were mentioning that there's no word on whether it has touch. I watched a video where they said they confirmed that it had touch.
Did they?
Yeah, but even then, I mean, you're 100% right. They usually make a point of showing something like a feature like that in the video, which is why you saw them use the kickstand specifically or pull the handles or the actual Joy-Con controllers off, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. Until it's actually officially out, I won't buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't mean officially out as in the console. Until it isn't official, until the specs aren't officially out, I won't believe it. Is what I meant. Sorry.
Certainly. So let's shift gears here. We told you what we kind of know or do know, but now I want to get into our impressions, our thoughts, hopes, worries. So let's dive into that.
Yeah.
So some of the common things we both have brought up here, I want to touch base with first, is going to be battery life.
Yes.
Actually, let me back up for a minute, because kind of part and parcel of that is the power of the device. We talked about the power a little bit. It's going to be a mobile platform. So right off the bat, we talk about that, and that is a big factor on battery life. The reason I want to bring that up is, you make something, you could theoretically throw an Intel i7 processor into a small form factor, but it would literally suck the life out of it.
Yeah, the juice will, you'd have a 1 hour tops gameplay.
Exactly.
And,
so
yeah,
in this particular case, you've got a mobile processor platform, and being that's going to look like it's probably about an 8-inch tablet, give or take, you're going to have a decent battery life. It's going to be a tablet battery life. But that said, I've played games and video on my phone and on my tablet, and there's no way I'm getting a good rip-roaring run of playtime in it.
Yep, I know what you mean.
So that seems to be a shared concern for both of us.
Yeah, so battery life they've got to have some kind of trick up their sleeve, because even if it's like a tablet has an average, say, 8 hours, 10 hours of continuous use, but it all depends on what you're doing.
Oh, that's optimistic, but yes.
Well, yeah, but you can cut down the time to literally 2-3 hours, just if you're playing like a a heavy duty game on a tablet, like any tablet, right?
Yeah.
So the battery life's got to be something, because the whole point of this thing is to be able to sit at your TV, play, and then go, hey, you know what? I got to go somewhere. I'm taking it with me. You pop it out and you
Oh yeah.
play and you continue.
Oh, and they
And
show people taking off and going to the park and walking their
yep.
dogs and going to a barbecue.
Yeah, so
So I mean,
if that's what it's supposed to do, it better be able to last,
and
because
they're pushing that. They're really advertising that.
how frustrating would it be if you're in the middle of a super important first person kill or something like that, and your battery's like, you see the little blinking light, dee, 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 done. Yeah.
And then it was over.
So battery life is definitely a big concern.
Yeah.
Power as well. The more power, the more energy you're going to be using. So what's the trade-off, right?
And that's a really big deal. And the problem is they oftentimes go hand in hand. Either you've got the beef, or you've got the juice. But
yeah,
one goes up, the other one goes down, kind of a thing. And that's a big concern for me, because I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I have a very dim speculation on this when it comes to the aspect of this capacity and lifespan, because the Tegra processor is really capable for a mobile platform. And again, this thing is going to try to play in the realm of being that in-home thing. Does it have enough beef? Does it have enough chops?
I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I mean, but see, this is the thing with Nintendo. They showed it. They showed how everyone's having fun with it. And there's a few things I want to mention about the video, but they don't come out and say the specs at all. They don't say anything about it. Nothing. So all of a sudden, I have this frame or picture in my mind of where my PS4 sits and where my Xbox One sits and where my PS2 and my PS3 sit, and this is like, where does it fit? Where does it go? So I get an idea of what kind of power I can expect from it. So I hope they mention it. I hope they're going to have to, right? Obviously. Yep. But I hope they mention it so people can see. But the other things about the video is they show specifically the gentleman getting on a plane, kicking out the kickstand, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kickstand's going to break. You know it's going to break. It's going to break. It's going to break.
It's a small little thin cake. I mean, I actually gave credit to Microsoft Surface, because it wasn't a little dinky kickstand. It was the entire bottom of the bezel that popped out. It wasn't this little thin thing. So why wouldn't you do that for this? Why are you putting this little cheap kickstand on it? You know? Yeah. So that could be a real problem. Space. Here's another thing I'm worried about. Are you going to be relegated to just being able to play what you have on hand for cartridges?
Yeah.
Or is it going to have onboard memory? Because this is another big issue I have, a big concern I should say I have, is that where this thing has to compete is against consoles like PlayStation that have a ton of downloadable game content, but then also has to battle against Android phones and other mobile platforms that have downloadable game content.
Yeah.
Does this thing have onboard memory? How much does it have?
It probably will. I think it'll have either a fixed amount of onboard memory, or they're going to have a fixed amount and expandability. They have to.
Well,
they have to.
Yes, say they have to, but then again...
Because, here's the one thing I'm not a fan of. I like the 3DS a lot. I've been playing with it the last little while. Love it. It's a great little handheld. The one thing I'm not a fan of is, yes, you have access to their store, their Nintendo eShop. You can buy and download games. Obviously, you're going to put an SD card in there, and the bigger the card, the more games you can carry. But those games are on that card. They exist there only. It's not a shop like the PlayStation Network, where if my PS Vita falls on the ground and breaks, I can go buy another PS Vita and re-download my games from the shop. The Nintendo eShop is not like that. Once it's on your system, that system is the only place that game exists.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if I went and bought another 3DS,
Mm.
I have to transfer my purchases from the old DS to the new DS, which is what I did when they released the new one. Otherwise, I'm repurchasing those games again. So
Good
I'm
Lord.
wondering, is this going to be like that? Are they going to solve that problem and make it something where
That
there's
sounds shisty.
yeah, so that's another thing. I mean, aside from the space that you mentioned, what about all the games I bought on my 3DS? Can I not download them and play them on there? Is it going to be backwards compatible? Don't
Well,
know.
is it going to be backwards compatible with downloadable content or the actual physical cartridges? Is it going to
Yeah,
be
so
backwards compatible with the Wii U or the DS? I mean, good
I
Lord. Look,
I get the feeling it's not, to be honest. I get the feeling it's
yeah.
not going to be,
I mean,
but
I understand making things backwards compatible can be difficult, and it's an extra thing to do, and I get that. But that if it is, it would make the thing a lot more functional because it would have a lot of legacy game people could
hmm
actually play with, which would be very beneficial. So
oh yeah.
here's another thing I'm going to bring up. This is something I noted that you didn't, strangely enough. I find this
Okay.
curious. Size.
Oh,
If you are going to take a step in the direction of not exactly fully mobile, but not really exactly a console like the other systems,
it's like in limbo.
why would you make it this size?
Yeah.
Let me point out a few things here. When you're talking about a device that is this size, you're talking about a device that has limited capacity for memory, limited capacity for battery, limited capacity for viewing when not docked, and those damn controllers. Those, God, if you just made this thing a 10-inch tablet, something that's a form factor people are kind of used to anyway. I know, but I don't know, man. I mean, it,
You're right.
it
It's trying to hover between that line, that
here.
portability and console. So,
Although it isn't impossible, we all know that usually when something's trying to do two different things, that it does both of them okay, but neither one of them well. And I'm really worried this is gonna be like, well, it kind of replaces the 3DS, but it's a little more shitty, and it kind of replaces the Wii U, but a lot more shitty.
yeah.
So what do you have got? You've got something that's
So
twice as shitty.
So yeah, because I gotta say, like I said, I've been playing the 3DS for a couple of weeks now, and the one thing that's awesome about it is that
I,
I like the fact that it has two screen, but you could just go pop, stuff it in your pocket, keep going.
I'm trying to like match this picture to the size of my hands. I'm looking at how I I God, where's the tape measure right now? I want to know how big this thing is. This looks stupid. This if this is the exact like, and we're talking like the length of my index or my middle finger here. Like, I forgive me, but I don't want a controller this big. All right, you know, I'm sorry, but that looks so awkward to play. And this brings up the other concern I have. Is one of the things I loved about the Nintendo Wii back in the day compared to the
Yeah,
Xbox, compared to the PlayStation of similar era, was those guys were already kind of going towards, you bought your console and you played your console and you might play with your friends online, but it really was meant to be kind of your personal device you sat at. Whereas the
hmm
Wii was meant to be, we would like to play. You got
yeah.
together with your family, and
It
that's
was a good
great.
social experience. I remember that.
Yeah, and they kind of show
Yeah,
that with this, but again, it's kind of a half-ass thing. Yes, when these things are slid onto the side of the tablet thingy, then you've
yeah.
got kind of a nice
I like
format
that.
for
I
personal
like that a
play.
lot. I
But
like
as
that
soon
a
as you
lot.
slide them off and I hand you one of them,
That's what
I've
I'm not a fan either. Yeah,
yeah, I've got this little shitty controller that, well, but now you can do group play with your friends. Yes, if at least one of my friends also has one of these devices, and we can get linked up wirelessly, and I give you one of my controllers so that my buddy can play. You give your controller that. Great. Now you got this big stipulation piling up. Can, yeah.
I You know,
Ooh.
I'm not I have no problem with the controller sliding onto the unit with you playing the unit holding it like that. I think that's awesome.
That's fine.
I have no problem with it sliding into into the dock and then connected to your TV and you can play there.
That's fine.
Of course, I'm pretty sure I would end up buying the Pro controller because I don't know how those would be sliding them off and then sliding them onto that thing and then
What kind of
playing.
connector do
Maybe
they have? How reliable is that connector? How
I
long is
have
it going
no
to
idea.
last
It
before it
lasts
breaks?
exactly, yeah. So it's got to be built well. It's got to be built to do several
Slide
hundred.
controllers on,
But
pull out of
what is?
dock, watch tablet fall out from between your hands on the floor.
Oh God. Well, when you see the guy in the airplane in the video, if you watch the video, I know
Mhm.
you're not going to be playing it. He places it down, pushes the kickstand out, and then he literally just grabs both handles and slides them off. And I'm like going, what the heck's holding the controller, the tablet down? What you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because if you did that, you'd lift the whole thing off, you know. But then there's another scene further down where this lady sets it up for their friends, and she slides it off to hand it to a friend. But you see her put one hand on top of the actual tablet portion and then slide it
Yeah.
off, which makes total sense. Like,
And if there's a way to do that by accident, drop the tablet, you know it's going to happen.
oh yeah,
The other thing, too, is because you've got these things sliding onto the sides like that, what about aftermarket cases for this? It's technically a mobile thing now.
yeah,
So now
yeah.
you got cases that have to kind of wrap around the top and bottom, and this is just going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But yes,
I'm still I look at it and I go, this is cool. I can do this.
it's cool, but I kind of see this as being kind of
Do you
almost
think it's
feels a little bit
gimmicky?
like a bow out from
Oh,
the fixed console market, and just kind
okay.
of saying, well, we're going to try to do a portable plus system rather than
Yeah.
continuing
Yeah.
to compete in the actual
So
plugged
they
in.
want to be they want to be the handheld market. They want to be the pro end handheld gaming or mobile gaming,
It really seems like it,
which can also play on the TV if you
and this
want.
plays right into that little me uh, pro app they had, as well as Pokemon, things like
Yeah.
that, Pokemon Go. So I think they're going in that direction, and if that's the case, then yeah, this has a lot of potential to be really a really cool mobile plus system. But I I don't think it's going to be advantageous for anybody to try to think about or try to compare this to any tethered console system anymore. I think this
Right.
is really is Nintendo's very discreet way of saying, you know, we're handing this off. We're not going to compete anymore in any way, shape, or form. I really don't.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's my take on it. Um, Kirok, do you have anything else you really want to kind of dive into on this topic?
I think that's pretty much it. Like I'm on board with it to be honest. My main concern is I want to know specs.
Yep.
But now that you point out, I didn't consider it the way you mentioned it just now. Now that you point out that they may be targeting more the mobile side, and then it
Mm-hmm.
just happens to also play on the TV, that kind of makes sense from what I've seen. That fits better. And if it's that, I might still go with it. Like,
They've
cause
really got they've got to put, you know, whip those nuts out and stick them all the way in, because
yeah,
you really got to put yourself in whole hard, because it just at this point this is putting the neck on the line. They've
yeah,
had
this is it. A lot of people are saying this is do or die for them.
the Wii was popular but fell quickly. The
Yeah,
Wii
it did.
U just was considered a failure. They really do not have the market space to fuck this up. They just
Yeah,
don't. This has got to be a hit, and they've got to be able to kind of feel this out quickly and really double down, because right now they're straddling that gap. They got 1 foot on the dock for tethered systems and 1 foot on the boat for mobile, and the boat is starting to pull away, and they're
yeah.
gonna have to make the call: do we step off or do we step on and run with it?
Un- Unless they have some kind of secret VR attachment that comes out in a year.
Well, that's the other thing too.
I'm just kidding.
There's no they completely it looks like they're not doing 4K. They're
Yeah,
completely avoiding VR altogether, which is
yeah.
strange because it seems like
Because
everybody's getting
well,
VR.
8 inches would be too big for a headset.
Exactly. So,
Oh man.
anyways,
Yeah.
but hey guys, let us know your input on this. Give us some of your thoughts in terms of what you think the positioning of this is. Let us know what you think about the cute little doggy face controller. Let us ask
Mhm.
any questions you like. We'll try to address them next week. When we come back to talk about other fun things like the PSVR, which is likely going to be happening. I'll talk more about it in a minute here. I do want to have a quick for the win takeaway here. This is a case mod. Looks like an enormous gun. Session's take on it is it's ridiculous. It's stupid. Yeah, I mean it's not my shtick, but I will give him credit where credit's due. This is a pretty serious mod. This is an actual
Wow.
gaming PC. Just so you
Wow.
know, this is an actual gaming PC. But it's modeled
That
after.
is that is pretty crazy. I
It's
did
pretty
see it
crazy.
earlier.
I give
Yeah.
him credit for being. This is definitely. Forgive me for the pun, but thinking outside the box. Anyways, guys. Um, Next week, I'm hoping if things go well, we're gonna have a real world friend of mine I work with. His name is Nacho Panda. He actually bought the PSVR for his system and has been playing it and is absolutely in love with it. And I'm hoping that we can get him on because it's gonna be a great vantage point because he has never played with the Vive or the Oculus. So his
Nice.
first
Okay.
experience with, in my definition, real VR is with the PlayStation. So we're gonna have him on hopefully to talk more about that, get his first impression experiences, and kind of go over what's going on there. I was hoping to have it this week, but things are a little bit tight in time. And quite frankly, as soon as the news bomb dropped by Nintendo, we knew this is what we had to go with. So
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
going with that. Again, guys, if you have thoughts, opinions, feedback, burping, etc., please feel free to head over to the ballrocket.com. Go to our forums. You'll find the section for the podcast. And again, here's where you can see what's coming up, get show notes if I can get around to putting show notes in, provide feedback. You can even advertise with us if you'd like. Just leave some notes there. You can even sign up to come on with us for an episode. Again, we'll talk and see if we can get you on. We'd love to have a couple of guests in the gaming realm. Kirok, my friend,
Yes.
as always, doing fun, interesting things. Waltz of the Wizard.
Waltz of the Wizard was the latest VR game I recorded and streamed, and it's up on my channel now. So it's pretty cool. It's awesome.
It looks like actually you're actually staying at Alchemy Table. Is that one?
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
one. So
you
you're mixing
actually
like different concoctions and
potions
making
and all that.
spells and things. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You and
A lot of
VSD talked a lot about that one
yeah.
in the last one of our podcasts when they were on. So that was like fun. And of course, you're still doing a lot of stuff with Project
Uh,
Singularity and
Project Singularity.
Elks
Yeah.
Lodge or not Elks Lodge.
Elks Lodge.
Elks
Nice.
Lodge.
North York Gaming Lodge.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't yet moved on the North York part. I will be and posting some videos on that channel as well.
Start kicking him in the ass. Come get the
Yeah.
butts in gear. And of course, people can get a hold of you almost everywhere under the sun, including on the Twitters, among other places.
Yeah.
And of course, I myself, guys, you can pretty much just type in Warp Jester, and you'll pretty much find me everywhere. Most actively, well, most actively, quote unquote, I'm on YouTube. You know, my channel's dead right now because I'm doing stuff and ready for renovation in real life in the podcast here. But you can catch me more reliably on the Bar Rocker website, on our Discord, through Twitter if I actually remember to poke at it once in a while, and so on. But again, find me over at Ball Rocket. It's probably the best place to go to. I do post there, check there a lot. The Discord channel we have for it. Of course, you can also go over to our YouTube channel, check out not only this podcast, but many other podcasts we post, as well as unboxings and so on. We have a lot of stuff going there. And a lot of the content we have coming up for these events, there will be live streams that we'll post here as well. So those kind of events you'll also see here. And hopefully I want to be able to do that as well for like the town hall. So we'll try to get that kind of content up as well. And we are on Votable. Again, Votable is a wonderful and fun place to go hang out for different groups. We've got Ball Rocket on there. I have a podcast subgroup. Kirak has the VR subgroup, which is growing like mad monkeys.
Yeah. I haven't been on it for the last week, but I'm going to start getting back onto that.
You'd better.
Yeah, I will. So it's awesome. And other people are posting stuff on there too, so it's fun. It's awesome.
So definitely head over there. You head over to YouTube, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a comment. Head over to Vobal, give us a little upvote. Give us a shout out on Twitter and say hi to us. And if you like, you're also welcome to head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BioRocketGaming. If you'd like to donate a little bit of cash toward this, that's always certainly helpful. Again, whether it's word of mouth or money, they both help out a lot, and we really, really do appreciate, guys. So thank you so very much. Kirak, my friend, it is all kinds of bugger all late.
This was awesome. Yeah, but this was fun. I enjoyed this, and it's good stuff when something new comes out. You know what I mean?
And be able to sit and wax poetic about it for a while.
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, we're gonna call it wraps here, and we'll catch you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
And audio test 1, 2, 3, 4. So I actually remember to put my mic in front of me this time. Record button. No more yawning.
Okay.
No more of that either.